Welcome to Marketecture, where you can get smart fast with in-depth interviews of leading technology vendors. I'm Brian Barletta from Sounds Profitable, and I'm here with Chase Miller, the EVP of Strategy and Corporate Development at Claritas. Chase, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
I'm really excited to talk through all this today because, Chase, me and you have had a chance to work together for a long time. Claritas is actively a partner of Sounds Profitable, and I was one of the founding members of Barometric, which was acquired by Claritas. So we might as well get right to it. What does Claritas do?
So Claritas is a data-driven marketing company that helps marketers identify target consumers, deliver campaigns to those consumers, and optimize the effectiveness of those campaigns.
That's really concise. Let's dive into the product a little bit more. What category do you compete in?
Sure. So it's a difficult question for Claritas to answer because our product structure is identify, selecting your target consumer, delivering a campaign against that target consumer group, and then measuring or optimizing the campaign performance. So depending on which product category, we have a slightly different competitive set. You might call us something different. So our I identify business is very much a market research and insights and bridges into media planning. So that's where you would take our data, you slice and dice and identify that group of consumers that represent the most value to the marketer, and then unlock all this great information we know about those consumers to drive creative budget planning and channel choice and so forth. In that product, we compete most closely with like Axiom's Personix or Experience Mosaic product. Newstar has a product called Element One that kind of fits in the same category. Our deliver business, which is executing on an audience, takes kind of two forms. One is just the audience itself, which we use our graph to enable campaigns to be run through Google or Trade Desk or Facebook. In that category, we compete with the same folks as Group One, or the Identify group, but also opens up a larger set of just audience data providers. Anybody you would see in the LiveRamp Data Store, or Oracle, Nielsen Marketing Cloud. Though our hook there is you use Claritas for rock solid identification of that audience, and then you can go and execute directly against that audience instead of using some sort of demographic proxy or lookalike model or try to recreate the strategic audience you developed. The other form our deliver category takes is email campaigns. So we, Claritas, curate an opted-in email address database. It's a critical component of our identity graph. But this is a set of consumers that we, Claritas, are able to mail, put a solicitation or an ad in the inbox of those consumers. And so we run campaigns for those marketers, again, using the identify capability to select who should receive the email message, and then we can deliver the email message to their inbox and drive conversion through that vehicle. In the email category, we compete with the likes of Zeta Interactive, Zeta Global, depending on which label you see, V12, Bridge Marketing is kind of the third kind of email competitor we run into. On the optimize front or attribution lift, I know optimize is a very Claritas-centric kind of term. So on the attribution lift front, we compete with the likes of ArtsEye, Chartable, Pod Sites in the audio space, but as we've expanded our multi-channel capability, we compete with the likes of like a Measured, or Newstar has an attribution and MTA capability as well. So the only entity that we try to really run into across all three products is Newstar, as they have the closest cousin, if you will, to the full suite of marketing services that we provide.
Can people mix and match? Do they have to use you for all of them, or are there different combinations they can use of the offerings?
In any combination. So the true value is unlocked when you use all three together, as it creates a virtuous closed loop to rinse and repeat the cycle and continue to improve marketing ROI. What we find is some customers come to us just for one of the three. They already have their audience platform. They already have a measurement solution, so they might use us just for the identify piece or any combination thereof. Typically, what we see is we'll land a customer on one, and then it's an easy kind of walk. Now that you're doing identify with us, it makes sense to execute against those audiences. Now that you're executing against those audiences, it makes sense to measure the effectiveness of that campaign. How do you improve that over time? So the customer journey becomes very clear to the customer within a very short time frame of starting to work with Claritas.
I think that's really important to highlight, though, because the closed loop nature is such a big selling point of what you do, but you're also very open to it being open. I mean, to people picking and choosing where they want to engage with you to start, and then you showing the value of expanding out or at least testing with other aspects. And I think that is a really strong selling point when people are trying to compete for business like yourself and there are some solutions out there that it's either all or nothing. And to me, that's kind of a dead end. I think we need the flexibility for someone to choose that maybe they need to put something together custom themselves, or to learn that maybe they want to work with that company more.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And one of our core company values is to put clients at the center. So as we are engaging a client, trying to figure out their pain points, their opportunities, that's why we have a Lego-based approach for our solutions, that we can stitch together any combination of what we can do to meet the client's need where they're at in their own journey of bringing data and attribution to bear to kind of drive their business forward.
Thanks for listening. To hear the complete interview, subscribe at marketecture.tv.